Namaskar. I am Durga Prasad, Incubation Manager, AIC-Nalanda. We welcome everyone to a very special chat show with our Company Secretary, Ms. Madhuchhanda Pradhan. This session is specially designed and curated to help the startups know more about company compliances, and as we inch towards the ending of a financial year, which is 21-22, what are the parameters, what are the factors, what are the very small nuances that every startup company should know about. Madam, welcome to this special chat show. And before we get into the basics of compliances and other things that are going to come in the way of discussion, we would first like a very generic kind of view from you. कि startups मन को सब बड़े हमको लगे कि गोटे company form करिवा, being a director, being a promoter, it's lot about compliances and documentations. That is of course why we require help of chartered accountants and company secretaries. But how do you like to suggest the startups ki what actually compliances mean for them?
If it is about the startups, then it's not about the startups actually. If it's about any company, if from the very beginning they will be started taking care of their compliances, then no more it's going to be a difficult job for them. If one shot something is going for them, like they have to do the due diligence or they have to do with all these compliances, they have to comply with this act, they have to comply with that act. So that becomes difficult if they will not be complying the things from the early stage of the life. So from the very beginning, if they will initiate the things, Absolutely. Then the compliance is nothing. It's just like a part of their daily job.
So बेले बेले एमती हुए ना कि being a company director also, though it's a very statutory position, किंतु I being an innovator or I being someone who has started with a passion of making out with the problem and the solutions, I am not necessarily need to be known about these documentations. So आपन को कौन लगे कि को केतेटा फैक्टर बा केतेटा स्कोप ऑफ सेक्टर्स अच्छी जोटा गोटे स्टार्टअप जानवा दरकार कि एटलिस्ट आई शुड नो अ लिटिल अबाउट दिस मच अबाउट अकाउंट्स और दिस मच अबाउट बुक कीपिंग, दिस मच अबाउट द लॉ एंड दिस मच अबाउट द मैंडेट. सो एनी सर्टन स्पेसिफिक जिनस जोटा को आपण
एक्चुअली आमने केबे कहूनी कि गोटे क्लाइंट स्टार्टअप हिसाब रे कि से माने सबु ऊपर आइडिया रखिबा दरकार एटलिस्ट द बेसिक थिंग्स. तमनकर अकाउंट्स पैसा आसुची पैसा जाउची केमती मेंटेन होची सेतिकी एक्सेल शीट रे तो मेंटेन करके रखि दे पारे. सो दैट इज द बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स रिलेटेड थिंग्स. सी देयर आर प्रोफेशनल्स, there are chartered accountant, there are company secretaries, those who are expert in legal, those who are accounts in the tax, those who are expert in taxation, those who are expert in the accounts. So अब मैंने 5 वर्ष 10 वर्ष पाठ पढ़ी कि एतिकी प्रोफेशन रे आसिकी पहुंचीजु. सो स्टार्टअप को केबे एक्सपेक्ट भी करिबुनी जे से गोटे 5 मास रे सब
एक्सपर्टीज ओडा के प्रेजेंट नबा दरकार. बट जो रॉ डेटा ता ताठू जीवो सेटा दैट कुड बी
विषय रे से माने मिनिमम अवेयर हबा दरकार कि दिस इज अ कंपनी मिनिमम दीज आर द कंप्लायंसेस एंड से मिनिमम कंप्लायंसेस टा भी आज का डेट रे एते मिनिमम जदी सेटा को डेली बेसिस रे मेंटेन करा होची. इट्स लाइक ऑफिस क्लोज गोटे 30 मिनिट रे टाइम दे दिया कंप्लायंसेस पे हे गला.
So getting into the next part कि आमे सरकारी सिस्टम रे भी अब आजिकली प्राइवेट इंडस्ट्री रे भी we are little more precarious about this term year ending. Yes. So year ending in double quotes has something become a nightmare for many कि year close हवा को जाऊची, the financial year is ending. Probably I always think कि March 31st तक बोधे year ending एत पे रखा है जी कि December 31st एटलीस्ट समझते rejoice करी पारों तो ठीक है New Year तक. So after a quarter post the new year, when we are moving towards this March 31st of 2022, आपन को कौन लागू ची कि माने which all things would you like to list out कि the startup should take care of कि my year is ending, I should at least comply with these things.
Actually this is the financial year ending.
हाँ.
So though all are the companies सेमानको फॉलो करियर अछि फाइनेंशियल ईयर एंडिंग. सो जदी फाइनेंशियल ईयर एंडिंग अछि देन फाइनेंशियल ईयर एंडिंग हिसाब रे कांसेप्ट्स तार कंप्लायंस तांको देखिया को पड़ियो. इफ इट इज अबाउट अ कंपनी, इफ इट इज अबाउट एनी अदर एंटिटीज, लाइक समस्त निजर ईयर एंडिंग को प्लान करे. सो स्टार्टअप को भी निजर ईयर एंडिंग को प्लान करियर. एग्जैक्टली इमीडिएटली ईयर एंडिंग अनफॉर्चूनेटली हम माने एबे भी से 2021 ना ईयर एंडिंग को कंप्लीट करि परनु बिकॉज़ स्टिल कंपनीज एक्ट रे एबे भी और किछि कंप्लायंसेस रही जाई छी. वेरी सून 15 मार्च is the due date for ROC filing of annual accounts. जो भी कंपनीज रही जाइछन्ती जो माने
For 2021.
2021 रो ईयर एंडिंग सर एपर्यंत हमनकर सरिन
So we would like to point it out for all our viewers कि 2021 financial year जो ROC compliances गुड़िक रही से सबू एबे भी तार विंडो ओपन अछि
Yes.
but it is only till 15th of March.
15th of March for the financial statements.
Okay.
Again it is 28th March for the annual returns.
Okay.
So जदि को कंपनी भूल रे मिस भी करी जाइछि
हाँ.
2021 नो फाइनेंशियल still they can file.
Still
they
they
have
can
the
file it
options.
out.
से
Okay.
विंडो एबे भी ओपन.
Okay,
So
great.
31st 2022 प्लान करिबा पूर्वरु इट्स बेटर दोज हु आर द एक्जिस्टिंग कंपनी दोज हु आर
Okay.
द एक्जिस्टिंग स्टार्टअप्स जो माने कि 21 पूर्वरु इनकॉर्पोरेटेड
अच्छा.
सेमानकु एई मार्च रो एटलीस्ट 20 डेज को प्लान करियर अछि
Oh.
so that 28 मार्च मिस हो जीवो द हेवी पेनाल्टी जहाँ गवर्नमेंट इम्पोज करूछि सेटा सेप्टेम्बर 30th रु इम्पोज हवा स्टार्ट हो सो मिस मु एबे
अच्छा,
करिवि
miss आपण
फाइन
एबे
मु
करिवे,
4
but-
मंथ्स प्रीवियस दे
Oh, that's really.
बिफोर एंटरिंग इनटू 1st अप्रैल इट्स बेटर कि मु मोर 20 डेज को टिके प्लान कर देबी
हाँ करेक्ट.
सो 20 डेज भितर दुईटा कंप्लायंस मेजर अछि गोटे हला AOC4 जोथरे हम माने का फाइनेंशियल्स प्लानिंग करूछु फाइनेंशियल्स रिटर्न फाइल करूछु प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस बैलेंस शीट जहार ड्यू डेट हला 15 मार्च
15th.
and 28 March is for the annual return. So once A portion done and fortunately income tax return na due date be 15 March.
15th March.
This is for
But
the
these are the compliances for those who are non-compliant for 2021.
Yes.
So 2021 ର ଯାହାର ଏପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ compliances ସରିନି so by 15th March they should
Yes.
plan out these things and as you say for 28th March for the other annual returns.
Other annual returns.
Okay, great. So from the point of view of 21-22, যাହାର की rollout we believe will go a little longer probably again till the month of ଆପଣ କଣ ଭାବୁଛନ୍ତି ଜୁଲାଇ ସେପ୍ଟେମ୍ବର ଆଡକୁ ତାର କ୍ଲୋଜିଂ ସବୁ ଆସିବ ନା ଆହୁରି ଆଗକୁ ଯିବାର ଅଛି?
Because of this 2019, 2022, 2020 COVID situation,
हाँ.
the things got extended.
Extended, हाँ.
But fortunately, सेटा सब बेले हमको मिलिबनी.
Okay.
आगुरु normal due dates, so startups has to plan according to the general due dates. जदि extension आसिला, सेटा हमन का फेवर रे अछि, हमको टिके extension मिलिबो जेमति 2021 extension नो विंडो एबे भी ओपन अछि. But 2022 रो extension विंडो आसीबो कि नै भी हमने
आसीबो कि
जानि.
नै भी जणा नै. तो आपण इन जनरल किछि मेंशन करिया को चाहिबे जो कंप्लायंसेस उडा को आमे देखिबा दरकार कि because आमे भी as an incubation center we always keep to the track कि हम startups माने get into a habit of feeling of the compliances with the actually statutory dates.
Exactly.
So which gives them a माने broader idea कि मते मोर annual planning सोडा को केमती करिवार अछि. If not to the minutes of it but on a broader vision आपण जदि हम viewers मन को कहि परिवे कि in this year ending period is there certain type of documentations that I want to do or I have to do at my own level आउ ता परे भी what are the normal basic timelines for which the documents need to be filed or submitted.
So mostly with the incubation center, जो मैंने associated अच्छे थे, they are the companies. So basic compliances for the company if will go for 2021 the window is for the March 31st. So better हमें 31st March भीतर ए window को close करिवा earlier
हाँ.
वाला जेति की compliances अच्छी ताको complete करिवा. But again we have to plan for the next year, that is 21-22 and ROC compliances or in terms if it is about the company compliances then all are in the annual forms.
अच्छा.
There is no such mandatory monthly returns are there.
Okay.
So companies no need to worry if it is about the annual things and a ବର୍ଷର annual 31st March 2020 ରେ end ହେଇଯିବ. So ଏତକି ଭିତରେ ଯଦି ଯେତିକି mandatory filings ଅଛି at least directors माने हुंतु promoters हुंतु founders हुंतु they have to keep those compliances in the mind कि हमको एतिकी जिनस निज निजर ड्यू डेट नॉर्मली प्रॉब्लम आम माने बीइंग अ प्रोफेशनल व्हाट वी फेस इन आवर डे टू डे लाइफ आम मानक क्लाइंट्स मानक लागे कि एमाने हमर प्रोफेशनल सो एमाने मन रखी कि दरिया दरकार एमाने फाइल कर दबा दरकार नहीं छुआ तमे जन्म करूछो तारो केयरिंग टाको तुमको नबार अछि आमे माने मे भी मेडिसिन दे परिबो खाइबा दे परिबो साइड बाय साइड सपोर्ट दे परिबो बट तमो छुआर केयरिंग टा तुमको नबार अछि तो तुमको माइंड रे रखियर अछि जे मो पिलाटा को मु एई मासरे एई इंजेक्शन दोछि सेटा त हमें भूली जाउनु
लाइक वेरी मच लाइक अ वैक्सीनेशन चार्ट
वेरी मच लाइक अ वैक्सीनेशन चार्ट जेंती घरे वैक्सीनेशन रा चार्ट लगी रखचंती इन द सेम वे यू कैन पुट अ कंप्लायंस चार्ट इन योर कंपनी सो इट्स वेरी सिंपल कंप्लायंसेस इट्स नॉट लाइक कि सब मासरे कंप्लायंसेस अछि देयर आर वेरी फ्यू कंप्लायंसेस. So if I'll just randomly go with the compliances, hardly
please.
there are 3 and 4 compliances. The first compliances which will come, that is the if there is any form of entity which is a LLP. Because we are seeing here the companies, the LLP and the one person companies. So those who are the LLP registered entities, their first compliances will be by May 30.
May 30.
That is their first due date for filing the annual return.
Okay.
For the LLP, specifically for the LLP, not for any other entities. But for the other company form of the business, as their income tax return and their statutory AGM is going to be held in the month of September.
Okay.
That is the due date. जदि को कंपनी ता पूर्वरु करूची देन ताको ता हिसाब रे प्लान करिवर अछि, बट मैक्सिमम डेट अलाउड इज अप टू 30th September. सो 30th September अछि माने मो हाथ रे 6 मंथ टाइम अछि. 6 मंथ रे मते फर्स्ट मोर 21 22 रे जति की फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शंस अछि, take the printout of the bank statements,
okay,
put the remarks in the site. Con expenses, if you are maintaining in the tally, if you are maintaining in any accounting software,
accounting
that is
software,
well
that
and
is
fine.
easy.
You can share with your professional.
Absolutely.
But if not, because being a startup actually normally समस्त Excel sheet रे maintain करंती या basic information रखी
basic information जोटा तांको accountant को दमा को.
As early you are providing your information to the professionals, at least compliance amanaka पे भी easy ही
easy हाँ.
So due date for filing, due date for holding your AGM, that is for 30th September. Okay. And that income tax return is for the 30th September. 30th September is a triple compliance date. That is for AGM, that is for income tax, that is for Director KYC.
Director KYC.
So Director KYC kahaku requirement? Again, any director जहाँ पकरे approved दिन अच्छी for the period of from 1st April 2021 to 31st March 2022. Okay. So Director KYC they will file for the first time. So first time means they have to go with the Director KYC form. But other than that, जो मानक पकरे approved in 31st March 2021 पूर्वर अच्छी, they have to go for a web based KYC.
क्या अपन को intervene करी मैडम? Last time we have seen कि ये जो Director KYC टा, before that also Director KYC जोटा करचंती. So this was a little माने confusing for many of the startups as we got the remarks कि Director KYC टा कौन किसी बहुत hard आउ ये process अच्छी कि ये जो KYC filling करिवा टा जो थरे कि तापर काना पछे बहुत स्टार्टअप्स पेनलाइज्ड हेचंदी ता पई तांकर डीएससी डिस्क्वालिफाइड हे जाई. हां दैट कॉस्टेड 5000 आल्सो. सो अपन टिके जदी खाली प्रोसेस तार माने फॉर द माने सेक ऑफ सिंपलिसिटी जदी अपन टिके कहबे कि स्टार्टअप को कोन करिया को पड़िबो निजर डायरेक्टर केवाईसी टा को मेंटेन करबा पई.
डायरेक्टर केवाईसी हार्डली इट्स अ जॉब ऑफ 5 seconds. If it is about KYC and if you are avoiding that 5 seconds, if you are ignoring that 5 seconds, penalty 5,000.
Okay.
So this is the best thing about Director KYC.
So as a startup, should I reach out to my company secretary for this? कि मोर Director KYC टा करे दियंतु.
Actually for Director KYC, like bank रे हमने जेमति KYC submit करूची every year, make it a habit. मु just एबे कहली कि compliance is not a tough job because सबु जगह रे हमने compliance करूछु. बैंक रे जे कि KYC दोछु account active करिया पे निचरो KYC पे करिबु din active करिया पे. But एठी गोटे professional certification दरकार, so you have to go through your professional.
Okay.
By giving your PAN card, Aadhaar card, and your if you have changed your address or something, any kind of the registered address proof, you have to give that. And the important question is about eKYC and Director KYC. If there is any approved in before 31st March 2021, so they have already filed their Director KYC first time. So this is the second time for them.
They would be filing it.
Whomever will be filing the Director KYC for the first time, they have to go for the Director KYC through the professional certification in the form. And those who have obtained earlier, before 31st March 2021, they have to file the eKYC.
Okay.
So for that also, they have to approach their professional because they only will certify their things. So that is about the Director KYC. So when it comes to 30th September, it is 3 mandatory things: statutory audit, income tax return, and the Director KYC.
So this is to be taken care of by September 30th September.
So if any company is holding the AGM earlier to 30th September also, that is okay.
That is also okay, but because anyhow they will have to file it by 30th September. And this goes as a regular norm.
Yes, Director KYC is now a regular norm because once you fail for your Director KYC, your DIN will be disqualified and no more you will be allowed to enter into any other company as a director. Baki ko company re jodi directorship achi, that will also be affected. So Director KYC is a major compliances. Apart from that, there are 2 annual filing forms what we need to file for a company. That is the financial statements, other is the annual return. So the due date is from the date of AGM, it is 30 days.
Okay.
That is for the financial statement filing. From the date of AGM, 60 days. That is for the annual return. So you have to count it up. It's not like
so whenever you hold an AGM, say to 30 days
say to 30 दिन. It's not 1 month, it's not 2 months.
बुझिली
It's a
exactly
tricky
it's
thing.
30
It's
days
30 days.
on calendar.
Yes. If it is a month of October, it's a 31 days.
हाँ
So if the AGM date is for 30th September, then filing by 30th October first AOC4, but 30th November nuhe MGT7 ro.
अच्छा.
MGT7 is 60 days counting, so that is 28th November.
हाँ तो सहीटा बहुत समय रे but that
That is the
nuances
tricky
is taken care of by professionals.
Yes. That should be,
हाँ, that
but
should
again the same thing. That is your job.
One has
And
to
we are
keep a
just
track of
taking
it.
care.
हाँ, one has
So
to
30
take
days,
care.
60 days has to be keep in the mind. And if you are a company for the first time or you are not appointed your auditor yet,
हाँ.
so you have to do that within 14 days of the AGM.
Okay.
So 14 days means excluding the AGM date, you will count the 14 days. So that is by October 14th.
तो आमे ये जो compliances गुडी को आपण कहउछंती ये जेमती गोटे स्टार्टअप पई निजर कंपनी रिलेटेड compliances अछि on the tax front or on the audit front सेमती किछि statutory compliances पड़िबो एई पीरियड भितरे और
Income tax.
income tax
That is
compliances
the first and the only statutory returns to be filed by the companies by 30th September.
30th September.
Fortunately, ithra 15th March achi.
Yes.
But
Man, it has extended for
Yes.
another 6 months
6
around
months.
because if you are till not done
Because
with
of this COVID,
2021,
they got extended.
so it has got a bracket of around a year.
Around a year,
Around a
yes.
year complete. So the first thing that we would like to put into red lines is that 2021 जो मैंने करना है they need to put it within the compliance framework by 15th of March. और जो मैंने 21-22 रा filings करिवे their date is September 30th, so they need to put their statements, their other
Exactly.
records and everything in place so that it's done. And do there is something like how early it could be done?
there will be no such early period because once your financial year will be closed, immediately you can start.
Immediately
your
you can
filings.
start the filings.
So as early you are
Okay.
preparing for your documents, it will be so easy in order to avoid the last minute
Correct,
rush.
correct.
Because in most of the time, last minute रे हमन का form file हो नथिबो, upload हो नथिबो, fine लागतो. Important जिनसा if you are missing that last deadline,
Okay.
it's 100 rupees per day per form. So that is the most important thing a startup has to keep in the mind. कि जदि हमने फाइलिंग करूनो then 100 rupees per day and that will be increased cumulatively. आज 100 टा काली 200 तापर 300 400. So there will be no upper
No, for
limit.
the startup it's really a worry taking thing. So thank you madam for laying out at least a little more clarified vision of what the compliances are. What we understood from you कि there are very little of them, but at least taking care of from the very beginning period of the bracket which opens for the filing will actually help the startups to comply by the date it ends. So thank you
One thing,
once
sir, I
again.
just want
sure,
to add
sure.
that if any startup is coming for a company formation, actually they should keep this thing in the mind that every year we have to comply for this thing.
Comply for this.
Along, like the way
And the
we
job
are,
doesn't ends with the formation
exactly.
only.
that तांको लागुची कि मो फॉर्मेशन कर देली ना now I'll focus on my application development, I'll focus on my operation part.
Other
But
parts,
when
हाँ.
it comes to getting any investment, the most
These due
important
diligence
thing
are the
is
first
due
thing which is
diligence.
taken care of, so
they
that the
have
company
to.
is yes.
And this is hardly a matter of 1, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days.
Absolutely.
So it's not like कि बहुत
So
बड़ा
आपका
जिनिस अछि.
experience, if you could tell a little also on this, and we end with this note कि how peculiar are the startups to deal with? Do they cooperate as a professional's point of view, or it's still difficult with working with startups?
Actually, nowadays this compliance part is getting every day difficult. You are also seeing government regulations एते strict होची, things are getting changed, and a due diligence portion टा in fact आगो को आहुरी strong
Strong. So if they
startup
understand
has
it
to
right
take care.
now, it's
And
easier.
Honestly, if I'll say among 100% startups, at least 30% startups थिबे जो माने कि starting रो formation date रो सेमानकर compliances ऊपर बेसी focus थिबो.
Okay.
Because अन्य मनन को feel फे कण application develop हे गला and now we'll focus for the investment.
For the business
बाबा
part
investment
and
रे entry करिया कु ही त हमको due diligence
हाँ,
stage दे की जीवा को
this happens. This happens.
So it's
with
really
lot
very
of startups.
tough for to make the startup understood about all these things. Startup माने first बुझिया
So being an incubation center, it's our role also that we
सेमानन
give
को
a
लागे
priority
हमने
to these
छोटा
things.
छु हमने कंपनी स्टार्ट करछु हमने गोटे कंपनी कर दबा काम कर दबा एत्ते सब जिंस को किए देखिबो एत्ते सब जिंस
एते सब जिंस नुह, but it gets compiled and piled up, so it seems like huge whenever it happens.
and maybe because of the other person like semane kaha ko like connect
And someone
କରୁଛନ୍ତି,
who
that is
consults and
important.
connects,
So that is
plays a
also
major
important.
role. Yes.
एमती incubation center କାହାକୁ ମିଳିନି ଯୋଉଠି କି ସେମାନେ everyday approach କରିପାରିବେ କାହାକୁ ଗୋଟେ professional କୁ ଯେ ମୋର ଏଇ problem ଟା ହଉଛି ମୋ ଟିକେ sort out କରିଦିଅ.
Exactly.
So that is very important. Like startup ମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ awareness ଦରକାର
हाँ.
कि how important this legal due diligence are.
Correct. Thank you for dropping light on every important aspect of the compliances and the submissions that are statutory by nature. And I believe for the viewers it has been a great enlightening session. So thanking you, ma'am, once
Thank you
again.
so much, sir.
We shall meet again on over a topic of this significance. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.